Hey everyone, the greatest goblin that ever lived is here to deliver the answers to your questions concerning the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, for some of this, I'm going to have to use my tablet. I've got questions loaded on my screen on my computer, but I'm going to go through the Twitter and Tumblr questions first and then end it with the YouTube questions. Okay, on Twitter, I only got one question. That's all right. It's from @Princess of Geeks, and she asks me, number one, who would you cast as April? And question number two, if there were 6 turtles instead of 4, what would you name them? Um, who would I cast as April? I'm assuming you're talking about the upcoming live action movie. Who would I have casted? Or who would I cast as April for a live action movie? Would I have cast Megan Fox? Hell no. Hell no. Uh, Michael Bay can have that bitch. Who would I cast as April O'Neil? I know I'm probably going to sound like a fanboy for saying this, but you know what? The hell with it. Emma Stone. I think Emma Stone could do it. Now, I'm probably sure there's probably going to be some people who would say somebody like maybe Mila Kunis or maybe a Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know. Emma Stone just kind of has that vibe to it. I loved her performance as Gwen Stacy. I don't fully agree anymore that that Emma should have been Mary Jane. I think she was a great Gwen, and I think she would have been a good April. If there were 6 turtles instead of 4, what would I name them? Well, sometimes I believe in the old saying, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. So I would take the 4, Leo, Raph, Donnie, and Mikey. I would leave those names alone. I would go ahead and name them like that. As far as 2 extra turtles go, I would stick with the naming after artists. I wouldn't go with the Renaissance kind, but as far as naming them after artists, I would like to see a Ninja Turtle named Rembrandt. I honestly would. I don't know what kind of weapon Rembrandt the Ninja Turtle would get, but you know what? I just always thought about that. Now, I'm going to borrow something from The Next Mutation. As bad as The Next Mutation show was, they did have an idea that sounds good on paper, adding in another female character, a female turtle. It would give April another female character to bond with, have some girl talk, talk about girl things, and have April teach this female turtle more about being a girl rather than being also as well as being a ninja. The female Ninja Turtle could help train April in the ways of the ninja, whereas April can teach the female turtle more about being a girl. I kind of liked that idea, but Fox did a poor execution of it with Venus. I would name a female turtle after one of my personal favorite artists. I would name the 6th turtle Frida. Name her after Frida Kahlo. I love her artwork. I took an art class in college and I fell in love with her artwork. Her artwork is really good. Really depressing for the most part, but really good. And then her artwork tells a real story about her life, and I always admired that. So I would name a female turtle after Frida. So yeah, there you go. Thanks @Princess of Geeks. Thanks for sending me that question. Now we'll go to the Tumblr questions. Let's see, what do we got? And whoa, I got 6 questions on Tumblr. They're all from anonymous users. That's okay. It's okay. If you want to send it anonymous, go right ahead. We'll start at the bottom and work our way to the top. First question, not counting movies. Pick one turtle from each incarnation. Comics, 80s cartoon, 2003 cartoon, current Nickelodeon cartoon, and make a team of Ninja Turtles. Which Splinter would train them, which April would be with them, which Shredder would they face. I'm kind of getting the feeling this question was probably sent either before I did the Q&A trailer, or whoever sent me this question didn't watch the trailer fully. I try to make a limit of 2 questions per person. Now, I'm not going to be a dick. I'll go ahead I'll go ahead and answer this. Okay, I'm not going to be a douche, because I set a limit. I set a limit on questions for a reason, because I didn't want to make a 5-hour long video. Not counting movies. Okay, for the comics, I'll go with IDW's current run because it's more identifiable right now. But I would go with Leonardo from the comics, Michelangelo from the 80s cartoon, Raphael from the 2003 series, and the current Nickelodeon Donatello. Which Splinter would train them? I would have the current Nickelodeon Splinter training them. Which April would be with them? I would go ahead and have I'd go ahead and have the current Nickelodeon April be with them too. Keep up with that shtick of Donatello and April. I just that's one of the most entertaining parts of the current cartoon. Which Shredder would they face? Without question, the 2003 Shredder from the first two seasons. The Utrom Shredder. Definitely have to go with him. Thanks for sending me the question. Okay, next question is, when do you think the Turtles were at their absolute worst? I hated Next Mutation. I did too. When do I think the Turtles were at their absolute worst? I would probably say the Coming Out of Our Shells tour. Ugh, that was bad. That was really bad. They marketed that at the wrong audience. The Turtles, I get it. The Turtles are supposed to appeal to little kids, but man, the kids they were marketing that to were like kindergarten or younger. That's bad. Next question. Who's your favorite turtle? Raphael. And here's the next question. Which TMNT video game was your favorite? Will you go see the new movie coming up? Which TMNT video game was my favorite? If I had to pick one, it would probably be Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo. Will you go see the new movie coming up? No. No, I will not pay for it. The only way I'm going to go see the new movie is if somebody, a buddy of mine or a friend of mine, says like, "Hey, we're going to get a group together. We're going to go see the Ninja Turtles movie. Tickets are on me. Come on." And I'll say, "Okay, then I'll go along." I am personally not going to give Michael Bay any of my money. I will not pay Michael Bay any of my money to go see that movie. I don't trust him. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to love the movie, but me personally, I don't trust Michael Bay. I'm not giving him my money. The next question is the top 3 best turtle things, top 3 worst, top 3 best. You can't top 3 best turtle things. Probably at the top of the list would probably be the Mirage comics in the early 80s, because if it wasn't for that comic book series, there probably wouldn't even be a Ninja Turtles franchise right now. So you got to give credit to where it all began. The 80s cartoon, because that launched the Ninja Turtles into pop culture rather than just being another comic book fad that probably could have faded away. The 80s cartoon launched it into the pop culture stratosphere, and you got to give them credit for that. And probably the third best thing about the Turtles is the first theatrical movie in 1990, because that paved the way for several Ninja Turtle movies to come, including the current Michael Bay crap. The top 3 worst... Well, Michael Bay's movie isn't out yet, so I can't count that. Top 3 worst. The Coming Out of Their Shells tour. That was a piece of shit. The Next Mutation. That was a horrible show. Horrible show. Even though it did give us a crossover with the Power Rangers. But it was still a horrible show. The third worst thing from Ninja Turtles probably have to be all their music sing-along cassette tapes, like the Turtle Tracks and the Christmas specials and all that stuff. You would probably have thought I was gonna say Turtles 3, but no, the VHS tapes where they just have sing-along songs and stuff like that. Oh, that was bad. But nothing as bad as the Coming Out of the Shells tour. And the last question on Tumblr is, this is how it's typed, do you want Donatello and April to be a couple? Now, I've said this before on my Tumblr page. I'm going to say, yeah, why not? Because It's a cartoon. It's Nickelodeon. Hell, if a freaking sponge and a squirrel can be a couple, if a human, if a regular human and a vampire on another cartoon can be together and be friendly, you know, I'm like, why can't a girl and a turtle be a couple? I mean, it's Nickelodeon. They're not going to do anything to push the buttons. They can just acknowledge, yes, these two are together. They're a couple. They're boyfriend and girlfriend. And that's it. You can have them hug. You can have them kiss each other on the cheek and stuff like that. You don't have to go too far with it. It would be a nice change and you would get away from the very predictable pairing of April and Casey. Not that I have anything wrong with April and Casey being together. It's just at this point, it's gotten too predictable. It's like anytime you see the incarnation of these two characters, you can almost predict at the exact moment when they're going to become a couple. I'd say go for it. Do something different. Because it's already been hinted at that April may have a crush on Donatello. There's been a hint or two in the current series, and I think y'all know what I'm talking about. Like the whole lovey-dovey wallpaper that April has on her cell phone or her T-phone. It's a wallpaper of Donatello. She calls him her Donnie boy. I'm like, oh, come on. The hints are all there. I say go for it. Who knows? It might add to the entertainment value of that particular shtick in this current incarnation of the Turtles. I say go for it. Alright, that's all for my Tumblr questions. Now let's get to the YouTube questions. Start at the bottom, work our way to the top. Alright, first questions come from the Spawn 117, and they ask, number one, what did you think of the 2003 TMNT series? I liked it. I thought it was good. Thought it was well executed. I thought it was a step in the right direction as to, you know, how to market the Turtles, you know, get away from the corniness and the campiness. The times were changing. It was time to go forward in a new direction with this franchise, and I thought they made the right decision. Up until Fast Forward, the series was doing very well. Once Fast Forward happened and then Back to the Sewer, the series just didn't have the same... That particular run of the Turtles just didn't have the same magic it did before it got to Fast Forward. And the second question is, what do you think of a Predator TMNT and a Hellboy TMNT crossover? Predator, I'm not too fond of that idea, in all honesty. A Hellboy crossover? I don't know. I don't read Predator or Hellboy. I liked the Hellboy movies, but I don't collect Hellboy comics. So as far as a Hellboy Ninja Turtles crossover, I don't know. Maybe I'm the wrong person to ask that, but who knows? It might work. Next question is from Bob78550. He only asked one question. Was there... Oh, there's two questions, excuse me. Was there just one robotic turtle, or was there more than one? Assuming you're talking about Metalhead. Yes, I think there was only one Metalhead, but there's been like multiple different incarnations of Metalhead. You had Metalhead in the 80s cartoon, you had Turtlebot in the 2003 series, and now you got the current Metalhead. There's always seems to be a different incarnation of Metalhead, and there's only been, as far as I know, there's always been only just one Metalhead in each different incarnation of the Ninja Turtles. Now, if there's a robotic turtle character that I'm forgetting about or that I don't know about, then I'm sure somebody will tell me. But yes, as far as I know, there has only been one Metalhead. The next question is from Ted Mooney, and he asks, "What do you think of about the Turtles being aliens in the upcoming movie?" That's not happening. That is not happening. Yes, that is what Michael Bay wanted, and Paramount and Nickelodeon were like, we ain't doing that. Keep them as they are. They're ninja, they're mutants, and they're ninjas. Don't make them aliens. They're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Don't make anything alien about them. And that was taken away from Michael Bay. Michael Bay wanted to make them aliens. He also wanted to make Donatello a girl. But no, that was stupid. And I will give the trailers credit on one thing. They poked fun at that. It's like, what are the aliens? No, that's stupid. I will give the trailers credit on that. They poked fun at themselves, and they poked fun at Michael Bay's fucking idiotic idea to make them aliens. If they were to go along with it, then I would know for sure I would never watch that movie. Next question is from the YouTubers Core. One question, Gabi. We would like to know who's a writer you like that you think could kill it on Ninja Turtles. Ooh, if it isn't Kevin Eastman, because Kevin Eastman's doing a fantastic job. And the people and the writers that he writes with on the current IDW series is just phenomenal stuff. But if it's not him, who would I pick? 2 words. Mark Waid. I'd love to see what he can do with the Turtles. The next question is from George Rodriguez. What do you think of the Ninja Turtles Ghostbusters crossover? I knew somebody was going to ask me about this. I knew it. I'm excited for it. It's 2 of my childhood franchises coming together for a big crossover. I'm actually looking forward to it. The more I think about it, the more I want it. I'm going to check it out. Need to talk to Arkham Comics and see if they can set it up for me. Next question is from Strider Hiryu. Strider is asking me a question. Strider, I'm a big fan. I played you a lot on Sega Genesis. Greetings to yourself. Number 1, what if the Turtles met me, Strider? I think you'd get along with them, Strider. I think you'd get along with them really good, but I think you would bond the most with Leonardo and maybe Splinter. I don't know, that's just me. And the second question is, which one of the Turtles' weapons do you feel like you would be good with? The bow staff. I took martial arts lessons when I was younger. I never took any lessons with the katana blade or the sai. There were 2 weapons I took lessons with, the bow staff and the nunchucks. The nunchakos. But I was good with the nunchucks, but I was really, really good with the bow staff. I think the bow staff would probably be the weapon I would probably be the best with. So thank you for sending that question. And the next question is from Rock Howard. SNK legend, Rock Howard. I'm sure it's not really him, but if it is him, oh my god. Question number 1, would you like to see Bebop and Rocksteady on the current cartoon? Yes. 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 But if they are going to appear on the current Nickelodeon cartoon, they need to be done like they're being done right now in the IDW comic book series. The way they were done in the 80s, that's where they belong. They don't need to be goofy and they don't need to be complete morons. You can keep them you can keep them less than intelligent, but I'd like to see them be brutes and be very intimidating to the Turtles. Take them seriously. I'd love to see a change to Bebop and Rocksteady, but I'd also love to see them. Second question, how do you feel about Seth Green taking over Leo's voice? I knew that was coming too. I knew that question was coming. I don't have a problem with it. Of course, anybody who says Jason Biggs left or quit or got fired because of the whole shit with Twitter and the airline incident, no, this news happened way before that happened. So no, it has nothing to do with that. He just decided to leave, and I'll respect his wishes for that. I wish him nothing but the best. I mean, he's kind of a busy fella as of late. He's got that show on Netflix, Orange is the New Black, and he's also doing some movies. He's kind of got a full plate, so I'm not really going to scoff him for leaving the show. As far as Seth Green coming in as Leonardo, I don't know. I think he would do a good job. Just don't make him sound like Chris Griffin. And don't do any stupid robot chicken fuck jokes as part of his dialogue, then I'll be fine. If he takes the role seriously, if he treats the role with respect, then I'm fine with it. Because I think Seth Green, I'm going to say it, Seth Green is incredibly overrated as a voice actor. I like him as Chris Griffin, but I hate Robot Chicken, and it really pains me to say that because I loved Robot Chicken when it first started, but it's done become so damn corporate. It's a shell of its former self. I hate what Robot Chicken has become today. Nothing but a bunch of pop culture references and fuck jokes. That's about it. But as far as Seth Green taking over Leo's voice, I'll be okay with it as long as he treats the role with respect. Don't Chris Griffinize Leonardo. I won't fucking have it. Just do it respectfully. If they were going to replace Jason Biggs, they should have just brought in the guy, I don't remember his name. They should have brought in the guy who filled in for him a couple of times during the last season. I would have been fine with that. But who knows? Seth Green might do a good job. Next questions are from Sinquan. First off, thanks. You're welcome. Number 1, how deep did you get into the comics throughout the years? And number 2, would you like to see a TMNT game based off of the IDW series made by the same makers of the Batman Arkham games, Rocksteady? I'll answer your first question. How deep did I get into the comics? I remember reading some of the Mirage comics when I was a little kid. I read a lot of them. I read a lot of the original issues. I had some friends who had big brothers who had a bunch of the classic issues, and I thought it was weird. It was the first comic book series I ever read that was in black and white, and it was brutal. I was like, this isn't the Turtles. And they said, this is I would look at my friends and go, this ain't the Turtles, and they're like, yeah, these are the original Turtles. Of course, I was just a little kid at the time, but I didn't really dive deep into the comics until the TMNT Adventures series from Archie Comics came through. That's when I really got into the comics. Then I dropped out of it for a while. They had some really good characters there, and what I like, oh yeah, I would love to see Rocksteady do a TMNT game based off the current run in IDW, and how fitting they could bring in Bebop and Rocksteady under the company of Rocksteady. I just think that's funny, but yeah, I would love to see that. Next questions are from Jacob Harper. Did you like TMNT 3, or are you like everyone else that hated it? Only other person that likes it is my childhood friend Chris Bennett. Number 2, are you going to see the new movie? I'll go ahead and get your second question out of the way. No, I will not go see this movie unless somebody treats me to it. They say, hey dude, come on, let's go see the Turtles movies. I'll get you a ticket, then I'll go. I'm not paying for it. I've already said this, I'll say it again, I'm not giving Michael Bay any of my money. Ever. Again. Simple as that. Did I like TMNT 3? No. I didn't like it. I thought it was silly. I thought, back then, you gotta think about this. The first Turtles movie came out in 1990, and then in 1991, 1992, the second movie, Secret of the Ooze, came out, and then it was another 2 more years before Turtles 3 came out, and I thought, this movie is gonna be the best. It's like the first one was great, the second one, not so great, but the third one has got to be good. It took so long to get it out, and oh my god, that movie's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. I mean, wow, the animatronics were bad. Splinter looked like he wasn't even finished. I know the AVGN did a video on it. I was like, I don't care. The fact is, the movie was bad. It was bad. But oh god, that movie is Shakespearean compared to the Coming Out of Their Shells tour and the sing-along tapes that they did and Next Mutation. Oh god. But the movie is horrible. I don't like it. When I bought the movies on DVD, I bought the first and the second one. Didn't even touch the third one. Let's see. Next question is from Emerald Warrior. Number 1, favorite artists on the current series, Mateus Santiloco or Ross Campbell? I'd have to say Mateus. The current interior artwork on the Ninja Turtles, if that's the Mateus's artwork, then I'd go with him. Because his artwork just encaptures what a Ninja Turtles storyline could look like artistically, and I love it. It's some of the best artwork I've seen for the Ninja Turtles. And just like in the current Nickelodeon cartoon, each turtle has a unique and distinctive look. Look at Michelangelo. Look how he's drawn. Look at excuse me, look at how Leonardo is drawn. Look at how Donatello and Raphael are drawn. They each have, besides the different colored bandanas, they each have a unique look to them. And I love it. The artist pays attention to detail, and he gives the turtles different unique looks, where you would be able to tell which turtles were which should they not have their bandanas on. And I love that. I love how he draws Splinter. I love how he draws Shredder. It's just damn near perfect. I love it. And as a fellow Raph lover, do you think the IDW series could use more individual character issues instead of focusing on Krang, Shredder, and Stockman? Yeah. I don't get the individual series. I don't get the individual character issues, but they were a big hit. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about them. So I think IDW should keep on doing it. You know, increase the revenue, make more money, make more sales. You know, tie them into what's going on in the current storyline. Yes, absolutely. I'm all for it. Next question is from Comic Book Fan 1992. If the new TMNT movie is good, will you love it? I can't wait for the new movie. I hope it's a good movie. Like I said, I'm only going to see the new movie if somebody pays for the ticket for me. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to pay for it myself. If I end up seeing the movie somehow, and if I like it, I will be honest about it. I'm not going to just jump on here and say I hate it just because a lot of other people are saying they hate it. If I watch the movie, if I watch the movie, then I'll be honest and say I liked it if I liked it. But other than that, I don't know. Other than that, I just don't have any desire to go see it. Let's see. Oh, lost my place. Here we go. Next is from Zach the Thunder King. Favorite fight in TMNT can be from anywhere from the comics to the TV show. Number 2, which character do you want in the new TMNT cartoon series? My favorite fight of TMNT, it's been a lot of good fights, but I think my personal favorite will be the Turtles versus Shredder in the 1990 theatrical movie, because seeing that, I saw that movie in the theaters and I was literally on the edge of my seat just going, oh God, somebody's got to get him, somebody's got to get him. Because when I saw it for the first time, I didn't know Splinter was going to do what he did. I was like, oh God, what's going to happen? Because that fight was so intense. I loved it as a kid, and it's still the quintessential fight from Ninja Turtles that will forever be burned into my brain. I love that fight. What characters do I want to see in the new cartoon? I'd like to see them do some characters that were done in the Archie run. Maybe Ninjara. Does anybody remember Ninjara from the Archie run? Does anybody remember Ninjara? What about some characters like the Warrior Dragon, you know, or like the Ninja Ghosts, you know, stuff like that. Other characters, I already know we're going to get Usagi Yojimbo, so there's no need begging for him because I know he's coming. Any other characters from other incarnations that I would like to see in the current cartoon? That's a... Ninjara was the first character that popped into my mind. No Mona Lisa, no. Probably... There's all kinds of characters on there. I mean, you could probably get away with a Mondo Gecko. The Neutrinos. And I'm not talking about the Neutrinos from the 80s cartoon. I'm talking about the Neutrinos from the IDW comics. Those Neutrinos. You give me those Neutrinos, I'm sold. I'm on it. The next question is from Taylor Farrell. Do you think they will bring Bebop and Rocksteady into the new cartoon? Yes, they should. If they don't, then they really screwed the pooch. They need to. You know, it's like, hell, they don't have to be permanent parts of the show, like Razar and Fishface or, you know, any of the other characters, but at least bring them into the show. I know they were, like, you know, referenced when Baxter Stockman got mutated into the Fly. They were referenced. But should they be in the show? Yes, absolutely. How do you feel about the new theme song they were putting into the new TMNT movie? I don't really care. I don't really care. I don't really have any desire to see this new movie. I know a lot of you are probably excited to go see this movie, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I got no beef with that. But me personally, I don't really care. I don't care for it. And let's see. And the next couple of questions are from Thor Odinson. Mighty Thor. It's an honor. Do you want to see Usagi Yojimbo in the current animated series? You goddamn right I do. I'd love to see that. Feelings on Corey Feldman doing Slash's voice. I love it. I love it. Because it's paying homage to Turtle history. Plus, he does a great job with that voice. Because, the first time I saw it, the first time I heard it, I was like, wait a minute. That's fucking Corey Feldman. It's Donatello turned Slash. I mean, Corey Feldman does a great job with a villain voiceover. I thought it was great. Give us more of it. Give us more Slash. Doesn't always have to be about Shredder. Next is from Lucas Cage. Luke Cage. Once again, I'm honored. Number 1, if you could choose one villain from Marvel to face the Turtles, who would it be? Oh, one Marvel villain to face the Turtles. Wow. If I had to pick, I gotta pick just one? I only gotta pick one? Dr. Doom. Yeah. Could you imagine a partnership between the Shredder and Victor Von Doom? Oh, God. Oh, I'd love that. Let's see. The second question is, have you read any of the Image TMNT comics? No, not really. Do you think I should? I'll send that question out to you. Next is Lawrence Black. Number 1, are you like me with this new crap movie and just saying fuck it? Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Number 2, would you read a TMNT Gargoyles crossover? Hell yeah! That could work. It probably wouldn't be perfect, but considering what we might get with that, it could work. It could work. But Xanatos has to be a villain. Xanatos has to be a villain, though. Next is from Mr. J's Comic Reviews. What's up, Mr. J? What's your favorite TMNT video game? Turtles in Time, Super Nintendo. Never get tired of that. What are your thoughts on Jason Biggs leaving the Nickelodeon cartoon? And if you could choose anyone, who would you personally want to see, or I guess hear, voice Leonardo? I have no problems with Jason Biggs leaving. If he wants to, that's fine. Who would I pick? I would just, honestly, they brought somebody in to fill in for him for a couple of episodes this past season. I'd say just go ahead and stick with him, because I thought he did a good job. Would I pick Seth Green? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Who would I get to voice Leonardo? No, I will not. I would not pick Cam Clark. Keep Cam Clark in the 80s. I mean, we got Rob Paulson as Donatello right now. That's fine enough. Who would I think could voice Leonardo? I don't know. I would have just stuck with the guy they brought in. I thought he was doing a nice job. I hope that answers your question, because I can't really think of anybody right now. And the last question is from my bro, the Mount Vernon kid. Number 1, what are your thoughts on the TMNT Ghostbusters crossover? Like I said, I'll gladly answer this question again. I'm fucking excited for it. 2 childhood favorites of mine coming together for one story. I'm ready for it. God, the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I'm ready for this. I'm hoping it doesn't disappoint. Who are you gonna call? Ninja Turtles! I'm just hearing that in my head, and I'm just imagining, which Ghostbuster would bond well with which turtle. It's like, Donatello and Egon would click. Probably Venkman and Michelangelo would click. Winston and Raphael would probably click, and that would leave Leonardo and Ray. I mean, it's just really, really cool stuff. Get us some character, get us some dialogue between Janine and April. That'd be great. Thoughts on what happened to Karai on the current cartoon? Jesus! What a stellar way to end the season. That really surprised me. That was a ballsy move, and I will give Nickelodeon and everybody that worked on that series, that particular episode, they did a great job of making such a dramatic moment in the season. It makes it for the most part, it's the right move to make from a business perspective. You end the season on a high note, guaranteeing that a lot of the fans are going to be ready for the next season when it comes on. When you end a season like that, you're almost guaranteeing at the very least half of your audience, if not more, the promise that they are going to be ready for the next season when it comes out. And it was such an awesomely sad and dramatic moment. It really adds fuel to the fire of this rivalry between Splinter and Shredder. Probably, without a doubt, the greatest rivalry in the Turtles franchise is Splinter versus Shredder. And this moment of Karai getting mutated into a mutant snake girl, this did more than just add, tension and heartache for the family, as well as both Splinter and Shredder, but it also added more to that personal animosity between these two characters, and I can't wait for one big drag-out fight between the two of them. When the time comes for them to finally come to blows once and for all, god damn it, I'm gonna be ready for it. Great moment. It did everything right. I loved it. Well, that's all the questions I got. I want to thank everybody who sent me their questions. I'm really grateful that I got the amount of questions that I did. And who knows, maybe I'll do this again sometime. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next time, but you know me. When the time comes for me to pick a new topic for Q&As, I'll let you know. So thanks to everybody who sent me their questions. Please subscribe to this channel, blugoblinX. Don't forget my main channel, Blugoblin01. Follow me on Twitter at Blugoblin01. Don't forget blugoblin.tumblr.com. You can look for me on Pinterest. Or if you're a friend of mine on Facebook. Thanks again. Thanks to everybody who sent me these questions. I hope my answers satisfied you. Thanks again, everybody. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Cowabunga.